Okay, what's going on guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're here for Oregairu, Season 1, Episode 10. Last episode, we saw the conclusion to helping Surumi, I believe her name was, the young girl, and her group of friends that were having their conflict. We saw Hikigaya come up with a solution, and we saw how that all ended up panning out. It was a very good episode. I liked very much the depth that we got to a lot of the characters, like Hayato. We saw there's a lot more to him, and as he spoke to Hikigaya about what it would have been like if they were in school together. And then we also, I can't remember if it was last episode or a few episodes ago, but came to the conclusion that Yukino and Hayato have history. Not sure exactly what their history is. We know they went to the same elementary school, and it seems like a similar situation. I believe it was a similar situation with Yukino. Okay, I'm gonna restart. There was the situation with Surumi. Apparently, Hayato had gone through a similar situation back in elementary school, and that's why he couldn't sit by and let it happen again. That's why he was so adamant about finding a solution to this group of girls' problem, is because he'd seen something similar happen, and he just watched it happen to a friend of his. And they didn't explicitly state it, but it was very heavily hinted that that friend he was speaking about was Yukino. So I'm very intrigued to see their past. And also, we learned at the end of the episode that Yukino's car was the one that almost hit Yui's dog that ran into Hikigaya in the first place. We don't know if Yukino herself was in that car. That is not a question we have had answered yet. But we know that car that drove her and her sister off at the end of the episode was in fact the car that ran into Hikigaya and almost killed Yui's dog back way before, on the entrance ceremony day, before the show had even begun at that point. A lot of moving pieces, a lot of character developments going on. I'm very intrigued to see where the end of this season heads. We've only got 4 episodes left, but without further ado, let's hop straight into Oregairu, Season 1, Episode 10. Ooh, summer vacation's almost over. That was such a quick introduction. Yeah. That's right, I totally forgot. At the end of the episode, he said that they didn't hear from Yukino for the rest of the summer break. So I wonder what she's getting up to. She went to go apparently see her mom, or apparently their mom wanted to see Yukino. So, no idea what's happening there, but honestly it doesn't sound ideal, but we'll find out. Or maybe we won't find out. I don't know. I don't know with this show. Damn, Hikigaya's family's got a lot of pets. They got a cat and 2 dogs. He's got a dog translating app. Yeah, they don't work at all. It just doesn't work in the first place. Oh. I thought at first they were making fun of how, like, when those dog apps were popular back when phones were very early on and they were dog translating apps, but they would obviously just spit out whatever text randomly generates. I thought they were making fun of that there, but no, the app actually works because Hikigaya barked at it and it spit out exactly something that he would say. Oh yeah, I just realized that is Yui's dog. Seems like Yui and Komachi are great friends. Well, that was awkward. You're just not gonna say a single word to Hikigaya? That was weird how she had to work up the courage to say that. If she was just asking Komachi, I feel like she would have been able to do it easy peasy, but suddenly she took a look at Hikigaya and was like, you guys want to go to the fireworks? Like, that's not something you would normally do around somebody you're just casual friends with, but maybe that's just Yui's personality. I keep trying to, like, when I was editing through episode 6 of the series, I don't know. I think Yui likes Hikigaya at this point. Like, I think that it's been that way since he saved her dog. I do think she likes him, but I keep pushing the idea back. For whatever reason, the idea has been put in my mind that this series is purely for like the first season or maybe even second season, more drama character development focused, not romance focused. But that I could be wrong. I really feel like the way Yui acts around Hikigaya screams she has a crush on him, but I keep denying the idea because I feel like Hikigaya himself needs to go through a lot of character development before he's even close to being ready for any kind of relationship. I don't know. I really don't know. I think she has a crush on him. It's been alluded to countless times, and she acts very suspicious around him at the most random of times as well. Does he have to be such an Oni chump? What is she trying to pull here? Oh my god. I had a feeling that's where this was heading. I was just wondering, I was like, where's this gonna go? She's not spewing all this for no reason. She's already tried to set Hikigai up with Yukino, and now she's trying to do the same for him with Yui. Komachi's the ultimate wingman. Hikigai seems like he really doesn't want to go. Guess you got no choice. Oh, she's got a Yutaka on! And Hikigai's just in casual wear. Damn, is this... We haven't seen Yukino a minute. We haven't seen Yukino a minute. We haven't seen Yukino in a minute, so is this gonna be a Yui and Hikigaya God damn, I can't speak. Is this going to be a Yui and Hikigaya focused episode? That's what it's seeming like right now. Oh my god. She clearly does... Why are you two acting so suspicious? I think that's... This is so awkward. This is so awkward. We haven't really gotten much of just Yui and Hikigaya. I feel like every time it's usually been at least Komachi or Yukino's there. The one time they were alone is when he gave her the gift back in episode 6. There, where he was trying to cut off their relationship, but obviously Yukino didn't let that happen. But he gave her that dog collar that she mistakenly put on her neck. My god, could you two act any less awkward? This is like tasteless. Oh my god, yeah, come on now. Oh. Yeah, you're blushing a lot though, brother. See, like I said, before Hikigaya is going to let the possibility of a romance between anyone be a thing, he's gonna have to go through some development, like without a shadow of a doubt. He's not anywhere near relationship type level, and I think those statements there he just made were proof of that, because right now it seems like Yui is head over heels for him the way she's acting. Like, it's just further confirming my hypothesis that she likes him. Like, she is just being extremely flustered all the time right now. Maybe they'll throw it up. Maybe they're trying to throw me off with this and she actually doesn't. I'm keeping optimistic is not the right word, but I'm keeping the possibility in the back of my mind that they are just purposely trying to throw me off here. Go home? Fried noodles, cotton candy, it's all just food. I don't think he's realized that. Okay. I was about to say, in fact, I'm sensitive. Oh my god, I'm not thick-skinned enough to catch up to the plot, and then he says I'm sensitive, that's funny. But I was literally about to say I don't think he's caught on yet, because I don't know, but he was just making statements that kind of made it seem like he hadn't caught on yet, but no, he's very clearly caught on to what she wants here. And liable to overreact. Sorry, we got 2 subtitles on the screen, hang on. 80% of the world's male population is prone to thinking, and then Yui's talking about, hey, they've got jellyfish cake. Okay, so she's just talking about food. Hey, does she like me? That's how they think and live. It is thus essential that I remain cautious. So he is clinging to that nice girl ideology before, where he is not even going to give anyone the time of day for there to be a misunderstanding. He's clinging to that right now. Just choked him out. Oh my, and now she's dragging him along. Oh yeah, aren't those games usually rigged so like the rope to like win is not actually tied in with the main loop, or like the rope to win like the biggest prizes is not actually tied in with the main loop? I think that's how they rig some of those, if I remember correctly. Hello? So, recall your role as a tree in your elementary school play. Ikigai has mastered the art of the background tree. No, this is, I wonder who these people are. These might be... Didn't somebody ask Yui how many friends she'd kept since middle school? Or no, elementary school? And she said just a few? That might be these people. I think I'm getting that right. I might be getting the characters mixed up there, but I think it was Yui who was asked that question. Oh, they're in our... Wait. They're in the class? How come we've never seen them? They haven't made one appearance, but they're somehow in our... Maybe... Does class mean grade? I feel like I've watched enough anime that I should know that by this point, but... No, because there's like class 2A, class 2B, class 2C, whatever. So I think class means they're in our group of people in our class, not grade level. We have never seen these people before. Having a go with you is a status symbol. Oh yeah. Basically saying she's gonna get a bad reaction with Hikigaya being around her. I mean, I guess, yeah. Oh, you didn't have to sprint, Yui! And just off he goes. Oh? No thanks. Oh, this is interesting. This is not what I was expecting. I really was not expecting a Yui and Hikigaya centered episode. This is really setting them up, but I feel like it's a fake out. Some drama's gonna happen or something. There's no way it's going this well in the first season. There's still 2 more full seasons, and we have another main character as well who is not present right now. I don't think this is gonna go a-okay first try, especially with everything that I've said up until this point about how Hikigaya still has a lot of development he needs to go through. Again! Come on, man! Also, he says, I'm super thoughtful, that's why I stay in the corner and don't cause anyone trouble. I think, Hikigaya, your version of thoughtful is, I feel like, a lot different than what most people would say being thoughtful means. Oh my god, Hikigaya. She was giving you a genuine compliment and you're going off spewing off garbage, man. Why? Why? No! No, she was actually genuinely complimenting him. She's like, you're nice. I mean, like, behind all of that exterior, you're actually a nice guy. And then he's like, yeah, after everything I've gone through in my life, like, come on, you can't do that. Going back to again, he has some development has got to happen at some point. That's not to say I dislike Hikigaya or anything. I actually really like him as a character. He's very flawed and a very in-depth character. That's what makes him so interesting in the first place. I love his character, but he's got some development he has to go through. I'm glad you didn't take that too weirdly. I'm sorry, who? Is it? Oh, that's Yukino's older sister. Sorry, I didn't recognize her for a second, but that's Yukino's older sister. You said it as if he's in it. Man, her sister doesn't seem to. Well, like. Her sister's so confusing because it's like, obviously, Hikigaya doesn't have feelings for Yukino, or Yui, at least. At this point, man, I don't know. I really couldn't tell you or confirm anything about these characters. Like, I feel like that's also what makes this series so good, is that I can never fully tell what a person's thinking. Anyway, I just find it funny how her sister's like, you're having an affair, but like, Yukino and Hikigaya are like the farthest thing from being a couple. Sounds like it. So is she a totally different person at home? It feels like we know two different Yukinos. Feels like the Yukino at home is a lot different than the Yukino that we know at school. Also, are mothers scarier than me? Interesting statement. Yeah. At least someone's calling it out. Run that by me again. But if were a date, I'm assuming it means but if it were a date. Once again, there's so much about Yukino that we don't know. I wonder if that statement is gonna make Yui apprehensive about making a move with Hikigaya. Like I said, at this point I feel like it's wholly but confirmed that Yui has at least some degree of a crush on Hikigaya. If not, they are really throwing me for a loop here, but I feel like at least to a certain degree she does. But I wonder if that statement is gonna make her hold back a little bit. I'm very curious as to how Yui's gonna react to that. Maybe we'll get no reaction at all. I have a very bad habit of pausing and talking like I'm doing now before something is very clearly shown and explained to me in the next few sentences, so I'm gonna shut up now. Oh my god, this girl. That laugh! Oh my god. Yep, he just kept calling her Yukinosta-san. Oh. It just seems like... It seems like Yukino tends to get the short end of the stick in this family. I think they haven't talked about any other siblings for Yukino, so it seems like her older sister is her only sibling, and in that instance, it seems like she seems to always be chasing after her, and she just seems to generally get the short end of the stick in the family, while her sister seems to be treated with high praise most of the time. Very interesting. There's definitely a lot more to learn about Yukino. I've said this several times now, but it's the truth. We know, like, nothing about her under the surface. She has a very rough exterior. Aww, that's sweet. Damn. Yui's got lots of compliments for her. What I think she's referencing there is how they all end up growing jealous of her is probably another instance of what Hayato was talking about that happened in their elementary school. I think that that's almost directly what she's referencing, and it seems like it didn't just happen in elementary school. It appears it's happened multiple times across her life and school life, which just sounds awful, genuinely. Ooh. He had that response ready. Not a yes, but close to a yes. Oh, he's staring at that car something fierce. Jesus. I need to go back. There aren't any marks where you can see them anymore? We're gonna get to that statement in just a second. We're gonna back it up. That face. He might act like this event doesn't bother him. But that face says completely otherwise. I'm gonna move this out of the way. That face says totally otherwise. He acts like the event didn't bother him, saying that he would have turned out a loner anyway, but he is staring a hole into that vehicle. And he looks angry. I've never seen Hikigaya look angry before, and he looks angry here. Like, genuinely angry. Interesting. I've been told that facial expressions are a huge part of Oregairu. And so I'm not going to let that one slip by without at least trying to analyze it a little bit. Could I be wrong? Yes, but I think he harbors more negative feelings towards that event than he would ever let anybody know. At least that's what I'm hypothesizing here. Yeah, basically just confirming that that vehicle is the one that ran into Hikigaya, and also confirming that Yukino was in fact in the vehicle when it hit him. Very curious as to why she never brought that up. Very curious. No. You are not gonna try and slide that little lip quiver by me. I'm like on pure analyzation mode right now. I'm taking every little detail to heart. That, it is heavily affecting him. He has acted in the past like the event didn't affect him. I would have been a loner anyway. Whatever, I've gone over all that. It affects him. He's not gonna admit it, but it damn well does. That was one of the weakest attempts to cover up his emotions he's done in this show yet. He's very good at that. He is very good at hiding his true emotions, and I feel like this is the first time we've seen him truly slip up. Except for in his end of episode conversation in episode 5, when he confronted Yui about the fact that he saved her dog, whenever that was a little bit of a slip up in his barriers upon barriers in front of him. This is probably the most I've ever seen him slip up. That lip quiver, he absolutely holds resentment. I don't know if it's to the fact that he got hit on that day, or he holds resentment to Yukino for not saying anything. I don't know. Maybe we'll find that out. There's lingering feelings there. Absolutely. Like, yeah. Interesting for sure. I wonder if that's what's peeving him off. Because Yukino, up until this point, what we know is that Yukino is very upfront about her words. Everything she says, she doesn't mince them, she doesn't lie. She will tell you to your face what she wants to say. But all of a sudden, she didn't bring this up. I bet you that is what's pissing him off most here. The event itself, I think there's a little bit of harbored feelings towards the event as a whole that he won't admit, but I'm thinking what's more here that's pissing him off is that Yukino didn't tell him. I think that's what's annoying him most here, because the way he said no, nothing, sounded very irritated in a Hikigaya kind of way. We'll see how this plays out. I'm very intrigued, because her not telling him goes totally against what Yukino's character has been, like what her principles as a character have been up until this point. Goes totally, completely, 100% against it. This is such a good episode. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. I like that. I like how even Hikigaya was like, wait, did he just say leave a bad taste in my mouth? Referencing directly back to what Yui said at the beginning of the episode. That's so cool. Because he even made a joke about it. It was like leaving a bad taste, or I can't remember exactly what the joke was word for word, but he made a joke about her saying something about leaving a bad taste. He made a joke about it, and now he's saying the same statement here at the end. I don't know if that was on purpose, or if that's just a translation thing, but I don't know. I feel like this show wouldn't do something like that unless it was on purpose, but I could be wrong. See, the... That's so true. that might be the most realist statement Hikigaya has said in this entire show. It's just that amounts to ignorance is bliss. That's all that amounts to, and it's the damn truth. Ignorance is absolutely bliss in a lot of cases. Because the second you're in the know and you're not ignorant anymore, you got way more on your plate to deal with. That's fair. That's very much like Yui.
私のことも助けてくれたじゃん。
お前だって知ってて助けたわけじゃない。俺にそういうの。
事故がなくったってヒキは私を助けてくれたよ。そんでこうやって。
それはないだろう。そもそも助けようがない。
だってヒキ言ってたじゃん。私もこんな性格だからさ、いつか悩んでヒキに会うのまたああやってくったらないばかり助けてくれるんだきっと。それでさ、それできっと私は。
Oh! God dang it! No, I don't think that's the right time, no. Sorry, I went totally radio silent there for a minute. I was really trying to take in every sentence that was being said there. This isn't the right time. This is Yui as much as... Honestly, I don't know who to root for. Yukino or Yui, I don't know. Yui clearly has a crush on him. She was about to admit it there. She was about to say, I think I like you. But obviously she got interrupted, which, typical anime trope, it sucks, but it is what it is. We move on. I think that was a good interruption. I don't think this is the right time. I don't think Hikigaya is in the right state of mind to handle a relationship right now. I just don't think that's the case at all. I really think that he needs more time to simmer and develop as a person before he would be ready to accept a confession such as that. We'll see how he reacts though, because I know Hikigaya is also not dumb. I feel like he might be able to pick up on the clues there and realize that she was about to confess to him. The way his face kept his face got shocked. Like you could tell he was waiting in anticipation for certain words to be said. I'm pretty sure he knows what was about to be said there. Very, very interesting. I'm going to watch that entire scene again, because I really, really liked it. That's why I went dead silent. But I want to get the scene again, because there's all the conversation about Yui telling him to save her, and how Hikigaya is so negative on himself. He's like, I would never do that. That's so unlike me. But Yui, I don't know. It's a very intriguing situation, because I think Yui is right. I think Hikigaya loves to tell himself that he's a bad person and that he's whatever, all of that stuff. He loves to tell himself that he's like that. But I think Yui sees him for who he actually is, at least to some degree, that if either of them were ever in trouble, it's like she said, Hikigaya would come up with some super unexpected and negative solution to save them. I truly think he would. Like, that seems very much in character for him. In the same way that he went to save Yui totally unexpectedly. Didn't know it was her with her dog, didn't know he'd be hit by a car. He just saw the dog and went to save it. That speaks to true character. Like, Hikigaya had no incentive to do so whatsoever, but he just did it because at his core, that is the kind of person he is. His whole life has been trash. His experiences have been trash. But at his core, he's not a terrible person. Sure, some of the solutions he comes up with seek things in a more negative way, but when it comes, I don't know. Like I said, very complex characters, and I love that. As the episodes continue, I will continue to analyze them more and try and get to their deeper core aspects. Of course, if anything I have said or anything I've questioned is going to be answered or explained later, please do not spoil me. I love analyzing these characters. I love analyzing them. This is the most fun I've had recording an Oregairu episode. I'm just being straight up, because I've been able to sit here and pause so many times and try and really take in what these characters are saying, because I know how much detailed and layered aspects there are to every single one of them. It's just, if you can't tell, I'm loving this episode, and I'm loving this show just in general. This episode has been so layered, like there's so many layers to every sentence a person says. And so I feel like I can't go without trying to analyze it at least a little bit. See, but even if he saved her not knowing that he'd help her in any way, he still did it. That is the bottom line. He's like, I told you I didn't do it knowing I'd help you in any way, but you still did it. You still did it. And I feel like that only adds on to the fact, because he's saying, like, I told you I didn't do it knowing I'd help you in any way, but, like, you still did it. I'm trying to come up with a better way to say it, but doing something with no incentive is an even higher, like, I don't know. I'm not sure I'm getting the words out correctly. I hope you guys can understand what exactly I'm trying to say. It's the fact that he did it with no incentive that makes it even better and speaks even more to his character in the first place. Saying their situations would have correlated to some degree. I love that statement right there. I love that. See, the way he looks away, he's like, what's going on here? That face is a face of... let me go back to it. That face is a face of, oh shit, what is about to happen right now? Like, that is a face of, what are you about to say to me? She was really about to say it there.
出なくていいのか
Oh, and he cut her off. But then she said I'd. I think I'd? Wow. She was trying to subvert? She was trying to subvert the typical anime trope right there. She was trying to go past the phone call to finish her statement. I think I'd... What would that statement end with? I think I'd like to start a relationship with you. I think I'd... I don't know. I don't know what she's trying to say here. I actually don't, because at first I thought, as I was speaking in my whole speech earlier, I thought she was going to talk about, or admit that she liked him. I'd is an interesting word choice that I feel like doesn't... There's no way you can confess to somebody by starting a sentence with I'd without saying, like, I'd like to start a relationship with you. I'd like to go on a date with you. Something like that. So maybe she's gonna say something involving Yukino because she's saying, because earlier she was saying you would help Yukino too if she ever needed help, even though Hikigaya was obviously denying that notion. Very interesting. I don't know if we're ever going to know exactly what she was going to say here. Once again, if it is going to be explained, do not say it to me. I will find it out as things go on, or I will pick it apart myself at some point. But if it's not, if this statement is... Well, obviously, if it's spoiler-induced, even if it's not going to happen later, if it involves a spoiler, don't say it. I don't know. I hate that I don't know what she's saying here. I really wish I knew what she was trying to say here, but I'm going to shut up and let this episode play out.
電話ママからだ。あ、いらないし、すぐ帰るってば。
Mama said she's going to come pick her up.
そこだから送ってくれてありがとう。じゃあね。
そうか
じゃあ、おやすみ。
Summer vacation's over. We're back to school. Let's see how Yukino's doing.
あら、久しぶりね。
Oh, hello, Yukino.
ご無沙汰
姉さんと会ったのね。
ああたまたまな部活今日から始めるのか
Oh, was she about to talk about the car incident and now she didn't bring it up? That was very unlike Yukino to be dead silent and then stutter into a sentence. We've seen it happen a few times, but it's very unlike her.
そのつもりだけれど。
了解また後でな
And he's just trying to push past it. And...
俺は自分が好きだ今まで自分のことを高い基本スペックも中途半端にいいくで現実的な思考も全くもって嫌いじゃない初めて自分を嫌いになりそう
Oh.
俺が見てきた雪の下雪の常に美しく嘘をつかず夜べがなくともその足で立ち続けると俺は憧れていたのだ勝手に期待して勝手に理想を押し付けて勝手に理解した気になってそして勝手に失望する何度も何度も戒めたのに雪の下雪のですら嘘をつくそんな当たり前のことを許容できない自分が俺は嫌いだ
And yet again, he returns from whence he came. Once again, we've got another big episode here. Another big... So much has happened. So many character talking points. I've been recording for nearly 55 minutes at this point. I've had so much to talk about, and I'm about to have even more to talk about, because I'm going to go over that scene again, analyze what Hikigaya said to the best of my ability, and we'll go from there. But that might end up taking a while. We'll see. I've been told that can be special endings from time to time when an episode, like, I feel like this one, a big episode, has something happen towards the end of it. I actually feel like that's probably the truth in Hikigaya's case. The Yukino that I've known, always beautiful, unable to lie, honest, always standing on her own 2 feet without anyone or anything to support her. I'm sure I held that Yukino in admiration, but it's been revealed very quickly here in this episode that this Yukino is not the real Yukino. This is absolutely a front that she puts on. And I'm thinking Hikigaya is saying here that he's hating that he took her front at face value and believed it. That's what this seems to be implicating, but obviously I'm gonna finish what he's saying and then go from there to fully try and figure it out. I chose to force my ideals on her. I chose to feel like I understood her. Maybe in some way he felt like he related to her, because I chose to force my ideals on her. Seems as if he's saying because this Yukino is not the Yukino that I thought I knew. Maybe he's saying, like, talking about my ideals or things like that. I don't know. I'm not sure I fully understand that sentiment there, and so I chose to be disappointed. Maybe he's saying because he believed all these things, he essentially chose to be disappointed in the end. Man, I'm loving this, dude. I'm loving this. This feels so much more in depth than I think any show I've ever watched, honestly. This feels so in-depth. Like, I feel like there's so much I can pick apart from these little speeches that Hikigaya gives, or these little conversations between characters. Like, this is... I'm having, like, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm having a ton of fun doing this. As much as I've told myself not to, I still do it. Even Yukino lies. Yes, that is the truth. I don't know if I ever brought it up, and I don't know if I ever brought it up in an earlier episode, but I had been a little apprehensive about bringing it up in case I was wrong. But back in episode 3, in the tennis match when she says, "I never lie," we saw on several occasions throughout the following episodes that that's not the case. Saying she doesn't lie was in and of itself a lie. Another lie to build up this barrier in front of her that keeps up the cold and calculating and whatever adjective you want to describe her as, that kind of Yukino up front, and keep the hidden Yukino out of sight from everybody else. We'd seen on several occasions this doesn't really have anything to do with her lying, but it's more showcasing her true personality, was when she would, like, see cute things and she would, like, touch them and kind of lose sense of reality for a second, and Hikigaya would have to check her back into it, and she'd get all, like, tsundere about it, like, you didn't see anything, like, that kind of thing. There's just a lot we don't know about her, and yes, it is true that she does lie. That statement about her not lying was in and of itself a lie. I can't accept this basic fact. Is it because he began to hold her type of personality and admiration that he's struggling to accept the fact that it's all a front? Is that kind of what's going on here? And maybe he's, like, saying he hates himself because he allowed himself to accept that front in the first place? Because he tends to think of himself as someone who can analyze character decently well, but he didn't understand this clear fact that was presented in front of him. That's possibly very, very off base, and I think it's very possible this will be explained in the next episode or something of that type. If it is, obviously, I've said this on several occasions throughout this video, please don't spoil. I really like analyzing these characters, and so I want to give myself a chance to take it into the next episode and try and analyze it more there if they're going to go more in depth. But if I'm just generally misunderstanding this speech as a whole, feel free to correct me. I'd love to know what this speech is actually about at heart. Anyway, let's continue. And so... there you go. Interesting. Interesting. I think I got the base concept of it down. Honestly, I've been recording for forever. I think I've analyzed as much as I can for the time being. I really honestly might jump into the next episode right now. If you see me wearing the same outfit for the next episode, you'll know that I did that, but we'll see if I do or not. This was a fantastic episode. One of my favorites of Oregairu Season 1 so far. Did I say episode 10? I feel like I said episode 10. At some point during this video, I feel like I mentioned episode 10. I don't know why that's just coming to me now. Anyway, putting all that aside, this was a fantastic episode. I'm loving this series, genuinely. This was probably the most in-depth character-wise episode. Maybe episode 5, maybe episode 6 could also compare, but this is definitely one of my favorite episodes so far. But I think that is going to wrap it up for my reaction to Oregairu Season 1, Episode 9. Hope you guys did enjoy, and I hope you all have a good day.